lone seagull greets the dawn as it paints the windswept profile of Walker's Cay, a mile-long island suspended in perpetual summer at the northern gateway to the Bahamas. Once the lair of pirates, Walker's in recent years has been a major port of call for the big game angler. He comes not with cannon, but strong tackle and powerful boats. For the treasure he seeks lives in the deep regions of the ocean. But today, the big game angler has been joined by a new restless breed. He fishes from smaller boats with lighter tackle, and he travels the world, forever pushing back the frontiers of sport fishing. This series is about this new breed. Come with us as we travel the leading edge of light tackle angling. Each expedition will begin here at the world-class fishing resort known as Walker's Cay. Our guide is Flip Pallot, angling champion, teacher, and official keeper of the Walker's Cay Chronicles. Pallot has been perfecting the technique of light tackle angling for 3 decades, setting scores of international records. When he isn't guiding in the Florida Keys, he's here at Walker's teaching his special art or telling friends the details of his latest probe into sports fishing's far country.
Okay, there he is. Left.
Today we'll be riding the deep water off western Costa Rica, where Flip Pallot and a friend will try to catch the giant Pacific sailfish. They'll be employing a new technique whereby the 100-pound quarry is teased up close and personal.
Got a pretty good hook in him, Flip. Thanks, buddy.
When the fish follows the script,
Beautiful.
the payoff can be dramatic. This self-styled hunter is known in scientific circles as Istiophorus platyterus. At maturity, it weighs between 75 and 150 pounds. It's between 6 and 8 feet long, and its disposition is moody and highly excitable. It has a dagger for a nose, eyes the size of poached eggs, and a dorsal fin it can unfurl like a cloak on a windy night. In full regalia, it cuts an imposing figure in a world shadowed by mystery and surprise. It's a fast swimmer, an Olympian leaper, and its acute sense of survival ranks it among the most prized game fish of the ocean. This one prowls the incredibly clear cobalt waters off western Costa Rica. It's late summer, and while it searches the warm waters for food, a party of itinerant anglers traverses the surface seeking its company. Through the bright and balmy air, the anglers ride a 31-foot fishing machine called a Palm Beach dayboat. It trolls 2 hookless tweezers some 40 feet astern. Poised on deck is the instrument of choice, a 9-foot fly rod, a saltwater streamer, and custom-made reel packed with 400 yards of backing.
I've got some old squid teasers that we first used when we came down here in the end of the 60s.
You brought your own squid with you?
I brought my own squid with me.
Did you bring your own boat too? Did you bring your own boat?
Just get ready to fish. Let me work my squid.
While Flip adjusts the action of his false squids, John Donnell, known to friends as Dozer, carefully strips 50 feet of fly line from the handcrafted aluminum reel, storing it in a bucket so that when and if the sailfish comes calling, the decks will be cleared and ready for action.
He stretched his line this morning, didn't he already stretch it?
Now the stage is set, and all eyes focus on the bright dancing water around the daisy chains of plastic squid. The air is charged with anticipation. It's like the prelude to a ball game or a prize fight. But when the bell doesn't ring, the imagination often takes over.
God, you know, watching these baits, in my mind, I can talk myself into seeing a little bill behind the baits come along behind it, and I look back and there's something on the baits. No, it's all in my mind.
Okay, there he is. Left, guys. He's on the left. The sun was, Ricardo.
With a calm conditioned by an angling lifetime, Flip skillfully wheels in the hookless teasers, coaxing the big fish to within casting range of John Donnell's fly rod.
There he is. On your right, buddy.
The sail keeps coming, snapping at the racing squid, only to have it snatched away in a cat and mouse game that has the cat bristling. Again, Flip pulls the teaser from the fish's mouth, but it's closed now. And after the skipper throws the boat out of gear, John begins to roll out some line, while the sailfish, its system pumped with excitement, hovers just behind the stern.
Got him on, Flipper. Good job.
You missed him.
But with the suddenness equal to its arrival, the sailfish tires of the game and cruises back into the gloom, while topside, John tries to rekindle its interest.
Got two of them milling around here, Flippy.
No problem.
Not this time. The sail has quit, possibly in deference to the more familiar company of a striped marlin. For now, the game is over.
I am a wreck. Oh, God, I am absolutely a wreck. I had two great bites. I got nervous. I hit him the other way, and I just had him on the bill. I was wrapped around a rod tip. I just got to settle down, man. These things make me crazy.
Pretty bite anyway. You almost had him stuck.
A rain squall closes in, a common afternoon occurrence in these waters, and the teaser baits are kept dancing in the wake. Here on the Gulf of Papagayo during the winter months, the storms can be treacherous, but this is summertime, and the men aboard the Game Fisher 2 ride it out, enjoying its cool breath and drawing energy from it, always watching and waiting for the green and purple fluorescent flash to appear behind the teasers, for they know the sail is down there somewhere. The day had started blue and bright out of Flamingo Bay, a comparatively small protected notch in the great sweeping bowl of Papagayo, where all things natural remain as the day they were born.
Just imagine the first people that ever got a look at something like that.
Boy, it knocks me out every time I see him. Guys, would you like to just sometimes go around this?
Though Flip and John had been coming to Costa Rica for 20 years, they're still struck by the coastline's primitive beauty, crowned only recently by a single jewel of a fishing resort, the first of many. And as they head out past the last of the Catalina Islands, they enter an experience that is less than a day from the honk and holler of Miami Airport, where daily flights leave for the capital of San Jose, a peaceful city heavy with old world architecture, hanging high in the inland mountains and moving tentatively to the rhythms of a new age. From San Jose, it's just 4 hours by good road or 45 minutes by charter plane, going northwest over the rainforest, down to the Pacific Ocean and Flamingo Bay. An exquisite wedge of the New World pioneered as a billfish paradise by Flip and a few others. And now the site of a 4-star resort, designed not only for the adventurous angler, but for those who prefer calmer waters. But now, in the wake of the squall, Flip and John discuss strategy, creating likely scenarios, and deciding how they'd react to the sailfish's imaginary moves.
I'll just take the teaser, put it down, and I mean, don't worry. Just don't worry about anything, because whatever.
John and I played the game over and over, conditioning our minds to act as one when the moment of truth arrived. For not only was this business of catching billfish on a fly as complicated as turning a triple play, it would have to be done on the opposition's home field, where the odds against us mounted even higher. So I tied an offshore streamer with a 4-0 hook onto the shock tippet using an improved clinch knot while John checked and rechecked the knots of his 3-piece leader. The tackle would have to be strong. Our chances of success would depend on it. Then the captain throttled back to trolling speed while Junior Bustasaraka, the mate, adjusted the teaser rods in their holders. And just as the plastic squid began their dance of seduction, new players came on stage.
John, you've got to look at this. Look at the number of porpoises here.
That's wild. Look at that.
Look at them spin.
That is a couple acres of golf right there. There must be a bunch of beta head up back
Look right here how they're riding the bow wave.
This is happening right
Crazy.
there.
What a lucky deal to be able to see this.
There are thousands of them, spinners, bottlenoses, tearing the water white, and Captain Chillingy stays with the school. He knows that the dolphin are master food finders, detectives of the sea, and where there is food, there should be sailfish.
What a lot, there's a lot going on here.
What athletes. Fabulous athletes.
But for now, everyone is content to watch and record this moment of natural grace, and perhaps to wonder what form of music plays beneath the domed brows of these mythic fish, these minds in the water. Just as suddenly as they reached the surface, the dolphin had gone deep.
Okay, let's get the baits back out.
While topside, it's back to business aboard the game fisher.
Send that bait out there, Skippy. I don't see him today.
The engines are knocked down to trolling speed. New fault squids and teasers are dropped back into the wake. Expectancy is running high. They can almost smell the presence of sailfish, and Dozer is primed.
Just got the first day jitters.
Here we go.
Okay, we're looking good. Okay, good.
A sail appears behind one of the plastic baits even before it drifts into position. Dozer fires his best pitch and immediately begins stripping the fly, giving it lifelike action, while Captain Chilimi watches from the bleachers.
Leave it right there. Okay, you got it.
But the sail's finicky. It ogles the fly without taking, and I wondered if it saw something it shouldn't.
Oh, he's out. He came off.
He's coming with it. He's coming with it.
Yeah.
John, you might strip it faster when you reel it.
Second fish. Different fish.
Then, for no apparent reason, the sail backs off Dozer's fly and attacks one of my plastic squid.
Go ahead and get set up, John.
Okay.
We'll get him back up here.
Now it was up to me to tease the fish closer and closer until John could make a proper cast, and it kept coming, lit up like a neon sign at night. Now came the critical moment that Dozer and I had discussed so thoroughly. I snatched the hookless squid from the sea, and Dozer planted the fly right under the sailfish's nose. Perfect.
I think I got a pretty good hook in him. Thanks, buddy.
Beautiful job, Dozer. You're right.
The fish appears to be hooked solidly, and as the boat is kept in position by Captain Chilemi, Dozer and Flip warmly acknowledge each other's contribution to this moment. Through the teamwork of 4 men, a difficult connection has been made. And now Junior has joined the captain on the bridge to watch the show.
He's coming up. Guys, I think he's coming up.
Teamwork must continue throughout the battle, but for now, everyone's a spectator.
Okay, hold it, Ricardo, hold it. Okay, Ricardo, I'm getting line.
Time and again, the sailfish hurtles into daylight. lifting itself by means of a power drawn from ages of survival. The line sizzles off John's reel as the splendid traveler begins greyhounding toward the horizon. Flip records the action while Chilemi stands at the ready.
Hold up 1 sec, Richard. Okay, that's good. I'm good.
Coming up.
John, did you see the power he had in his bill back and forth trying to shake that fly?
Oh yeah, when he was beating down there.
He didn't be anywhere near that when he was getting mad.
Out there some 200 yards, the sail finally rests. And now John slowly begins to take back some line.
Those are some kind of jumps. First roll of jumps, wasn't that unbelievable?
This is the part of the fight where crazy things happen, and this is where the boatman, helps me out a lot. When I'm doing it, he's backing up, he's trying to get your line for you. You're just there trying to orchestrate things and keep your direction of pressure straight and everything. This is a tough part of the fight.
There's a lot of craziness going on in this one right here.
Now the line comes even more grudgingly onto the reel, an inch at a time. While below the surface, the sail sulks. Head down and pectoral fins spread like wings, digging in against the weight of the water.
You're not subject to run out of gas here.
No, out of gas.
Beautiful stuff, Richard. You're just right on top of it. This is right just how we need it to be. Perfect.
They have entered the middle rounds of the fight, and Flip keeps everyone's senses alert. And suddenly, there it is again, writing a message in the air that it's not over. It's 25 minutes into the fight, and John is slowly gaining line.
Come on, big boy. Okay, he's making a little move here. There he goes. Here he goes. He's shooting off the left. Well, I thought he was.
I don't know. Is that him?
Yeah, no, that's another fish.
That's not your fish.
I said, God, I couldn't believe he was over
back
here. So I can't believe I got that much belly in this.
See what they try to trick you. Yeah. They'll do anything.
Yeah, rat.
Suddenly, the sailfish does make a move, but in a totally unexpected direction. And John pumps and reels.
Yikes.
If the fish succeeds and gets directly beneath them, the line will rub against the boat and the hook could easily pull loose.
Free school, John.
So the captain shifts gears and the boat jumps forward.
Okay, I'm okay, we're good.
And the sailfish responds to the new angle of pressure.
It's okay. We're good. We got through it. We got through it.
I didn't want to turn too quick.
We got through it. Okay. He was headed right under the boat there.
I thought that was curtains.
Still right here.
You know what? He really disguised that move pretty well.
Yeah, he did.
Its reserves diminishing, the sailfish again puts its head down and spreads its pectorals for what may be its last stand.
Is he trying to sound on you?
Yeah, he's trying to get. I was trying to stop him if I can. Yeah, there we go.
Dozer.
As the line begins rolling onto John Donnell's reel, it is clear he and the opposition have entered the game's final inning.
Look at this right here. Isn't that wild?
And to add a bit of color to the moment, a school of porpoise swims right through the playing field.
This is like being in some kind of a giant aquarium.
Well, they're really curious, aren't they?
You taking line, John?
Oh, yeah, he's starting to take again, Richard. I'm trying to stop him here.
Take it easy.
John applies optimum pressure now, testing the tackle against the fish's strength and will. And this time, the tackle has the best of it. and the sailfish begins to slowly plane towards the surface.
Here we go. Come on up here, big boy.
Then, for the first time, the magnified blur of the streamer fly appears 15 feet down. And after an hour of spectacular struggle, the sail gives it up and moves tamely towards its brief capture. The trick now is to work fast and with great care.
Can I help you get the fly out? Yeah.
Flip holds the fish clear of the transom, out of harm's way, as John Donnell works quickly to free the hook. And all the while, the splendid athlete of the sea is drawing oxygen in through its gills, stabilizing its system and reclaiming its strength.
Yeah, I got the fly loose. Okay, Flip. I got it. Okay, buddy. Thanks.
Released from the hook, the sailfish is held a few more moments until Flip and John are convinced it's ready to go back. Each has returned thousands of big fish to the sea, and this one finally moves off. It's a little bit tired, perhaps a little wiser, but certainly none the worse for its brief encounter with the visitors from the other side.
Swim off good.
Oh, Dozer! What a deal!
Hey, this is like old times. You feel like you're...
I feel like Bujade.
Way to go, man. That was
It's a
fun.
deja vu.
That's a nice sailfish.
Wow.
All right, I never
Wow.
get to do that. Yeah. Richard, Ricardo, my man.
Good job, gentlemen. Nice fish. Nice teasing, nice hookup, nice everything. Pretty work.
You're so good. Whew.
John had fought the sail flawlessly, and now with it safely released into its element, there was nothing left but to discuss the encounter's high points and to think about tomorrow, when I would be at bat.
I figured I'd better just...
In his typical way, John Donnell claims no private victory, no singular credit, nor do Flip or the others aboard the homebound Game Fisher 2. Instead, they each carry with them on the way back a deep sense of privilege and gratitude for their brief union with a great and wild member of another world, here in Costa Rica.
Those who have been in the forefront of light tackle angling have been coming to Costa Rica for 20 years, and I have found the enjoyment of passing through its mountain-based capital a primary part of the adventure. San Jose is the cultural centerpiece of Central America and the industrial engine of a country so peaceful it has no army. These children and their parents before them have no personal knowledge of the dehumanizing conflicts that have raged to the north and south of their country. While the government fights to pay off its international debt, Costa Rica is the only Central American country that can claim steady economic growth in recent years. And here in San Jose, the buses and trains tend to run on time through a complex interface of old and new. Where some 20,000 Americans have come to live among a nation whose 90% literacy rate is among the highest in the world. Where residents are friendly and the police helpful. Where personal and artistic expression lives on canvas and in the air. For me, San Jose is not just a quick stop on the way to the fishing grounds. It is a vital part of the adventure, a connection to a courageous people who choose to live simply and well in this urban hammock hanging 4,000 feet above its frontage on two oceans. But I'm always happy to return to the northern reaches of Costa Rica's west coast, where a profusion of life explodes endlessly along a shoreline virtually untouched by time. The morning broke fresh as new paint, and we resumed the hunt. A few bottlenose dolphin found us and played in the game fisher's bow wave. I tended to my tackle. Although many world records had come from these waters, that was not our purpose. Regardless of the size of the quarry, I can still get obsessive about preparation, both material and metaphysical. And so on our behalf, I appealed to the gods of the deep. I was on the fly rod now, and it was my turn at bat. I eased the point of the streamer into the cork butt. Then I placed the rod carefully on the deck, reel handle up, fly line unencumbered. This would be my connection to a wild and very powerful animal, and I wanted the tackle to be at its best, so that I could be at my best. Meanwhile, Dozer had rigged the teaser rods with two of my plastic squids, the larger of which he insisted on calling crocodile, and dropped them back into the boiling sea. Now all hands awaited the pleasure of Mr. Sailfish.
We got all the stops out now, man. We got the crocodile out. We blessed the fleet.
I may have put a little too much luck around the cockpit. I don't know.
We're going for broke now.
And then out of the depths came something else.
It's a marlin, it's a marlin, it's a marlin.
Pacific blue. And what do? Grab the teaser rod. So much for all the careful planning and preparation.
It's a big marlin,
yeah. It looks like big, what's a big fish?
It was too big for our gear, but in this David and Goliath game, all things seemed possible.
Oh, Cliff, you want me to apply this thing?
The sun's going to set on us fighting this fish, I can tell you that.
I swear, you can't.
You got hooked.
No, I don't want to hook.
All right, watch it.
I don't want to hook.
Then it crashed John's crocodile like a runaway semi, but released it almost instantly and turned away into the current.
Wait, he's fading off. He's fading off.
Now it hung back in confusion.
Oh, come on, bring him to me.
No, he's faded off. He's not there.
The marlin had given us two chances, one more than we had any right to expect, and John and I sensed that he was gone.
I don't know what happened. I don't know.
That was a good fish. We plowed on that bait. Can't believe that.
That's a blessing in disguise.
Oh yeah, thank you for losing.
A 400-pound marlin is just...
It looked like a good one. Richard, how big is that marlin, you think?
Well, too big for that little old fly. You could have got a couple good jumps out of him, though.
Minus another one. Minus a little smaller one this time, will you?
Well, I'll do the best I can.
As we watched the plastic squid dance, I decided Chalimi's estimate of at least 500 pounds was probably right. In all of angling, there's no more riveting moment than the sudden appearance of a blue marlin up behind the baits.